In this video, we'll delve into Cloris Leachman's relationship with Betty White. Was it rivalry or friendship between them? But that's not all. We'll uncover the mystery behind her label as a comedic genius. If I had your bust, I'd rule the world. You might be wondering what led to this remark about Cloris Leachman. Her beauty was a powerful selling point in the golden era of Hollywood. And did you know that her classmates couldn't help but envy her bust? It's not surprising that many men kept bothering her, all wanting to get to know her in some way. Cloris Leachman and Betty White faked their rivalry. Meet Cloris Leachman, the extraordinary lady of laughter. Her incredible comedic talent could make you laugh until tears flowed. Cloris Leachman was known for her long and impressive career in entertainment. She's been active for almost 8 decades, using her wit, tactics and comedic skills. What else about this unique lady? I guess her enviable family life and the age-long competitive relationship with the famous Betty White. How did she manage her friendship with Betty? On the Mary Tyler Moore Show they played enemies. Years later a curious script made a movie where they clashed again. Was it a movie creation or a secret rivalry that few knew about? A unique American actress and comedian, Cloris Leachman is a known face in the 20th century celebrity lifestyle. She was cute, hilarious, and one whose appeal will continue to excite fans for some time to come. Leachman was a beloved celebrity of her time. As we look back on her career, fans and celebrities alike still talk about Leachman's charm that shone in every show she was in. She had a special family life and relationships with loved ones and co-stars, particularly with the amazing Betty White. Their careers ran parallel and competed for more than 4 decades. Cloris's road to fame wasn't easy. Her overnight success actually came after around 20 years of hard work in stage shows, movies and TV appearances. This lovely lady found her big success in her 40s and later played roles like a grandmother in other shows. Cloris immortalised her name with her very witty role as Phyllis Lindstrom on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and in case you did not know, she became a choice talent around the mid-1970s. Hollywood recognised her as incredibly funny. Leachman was a comedic genius, one of the most versatile actresses. As fans cheered her talent, Leachman solidified her fame with a superb portrayal in The Last Picture Show. This role won her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. If you remember the Mary Tyler Moore Show, it had smart, working and funny women. It was a groundbreaking TV idea that changed how we saw television. 2 great women whose characters were very remarkable in that show are Cloris Leachman and Betty White, who showed as Sue Ann Nivens. The 2 women appeared to have come a long way in their professional association for years. They have also contested against each other on many award shows. Some think they were weary of each other's success. As they got older, a feeling of rivalry and concern about one outshining the other remained. Leachman was asked if she feared her friend Betty would snatch her title as the oldest contestant on a show. Her witty response, "She just steals everything from me." Cloris is sure a peculiar lady on and off the screen. She had a spectacular on and off marriage with 5 awesome children. Her career dedication is evident back in her days at Studio Universal Lot, working more often than leisure time. "How do you get out of this?" she once asked, referring to her ever-busy work schedule. "Do they say there was no one like Cloris? She is the type that won hearts with a single look, paraded an ability to break hearts with laughter, or make you laugh till the tears ran down your face." Cloris had an unpredictable mood. You never knew what she'd say or do. This rare trait was part of her unparalleled magic. Leachman was born in Des Moines, Iowa, and grew up there. After attending Northwestern University, she became a professional actor. Her interest in local plays as a teenager fueled her readiness to step onto the screen. After competing in the 1946 Miss America pageant, her acting dream came true with a scholarship to study under Elia Kazan at the Actors Studio. Her professional film debut was back in 1948. Since then it has been a story of glory to glory for Leachman. She was the eldest of 3 daughters of her parents, Cloris and Barclay Claiborne Leachman. Even though her father was a savvy businessman, two of his daughters ended up in showbiz, Cloris and her sister Claiborne Carey. Her inspiration and determination to become an actress must have been an age-long idea that she pursued with childhood vigour. Reports say that at the age of 11, young Leachman got a ride on a coal lorry with her mother's backing to a nearby Drake University. There she auditioned and landed a role in a children's radio concert. She started participating in weekend neighbourhood dramas organised by fellow youth at Drake University in Des Moines. This is where she developed her passion for acting as a young starlet. She kept her dreams alive until she was 15, the year she won a summer drama grant to Northwestern. After attending Theodore Roosevelt High School, Leachman stood out as the top performer among her classmates. This distinction led her to represent Atlantic City and Miss Chicago in the Miss America pageant. And by the time she left university, she identified with the Gamma Phi Beta and had studied alongside comic talent like Paul Lynde. Her beauty was a major attraction even back then. When she entered the Miss America pageant, TV shows were already interested in her, and she started making appearances. While at the actor's studio, a curious classmate named Julie Harris once told Leachman, "If I had your bust, I would rule the world." Do they say she exhibited arrogant and disrespectful behaviour at this time? No thanks to the too many men pestering her and wanting to connect in some way. During this time, before diving into a live TV drama, Leachman sought advice from trusted ones, pondering, should I marry him? The man in question was producer George England, whom she later wed and shared about 20 years of life together. Their marriage, though kind of sweet and sour at different stages, produced 4 boys and an awesome daughter. They had 2 major separations and a few negligible ones, but kept faith in each other. Several years after she told fans she was proud of her marriage, though, "We split up every 10 years for a couple of years. Now we're back together permanently," she explained, and had added that England had said to her, "You're the mongoose to my cobra. You've finally worn me down to the point where I can't think of anything but you." On the practicality of her kind of cobra-mongoose marriage, Leachman thought that husbands and wives should live in separate houses. If there's enough money, the children should live in a third. What a theory! She believed her focus was on family, as all her hopes, attention, and deepest feelings were poured into nurturing her family, she hinted. This is why she never regretted entering the international acting scene later. "I chose to have children early, and I don't regret it," she affirmed. At the actor's studio in New York City, Leachman stepped in for Nellie Forbush in Rodgers and Hammerstein's South Pacific. Later she brought William Inge's comeback Little Sheba to Broadway. Although she left before it finished, she got an offer from Katharine Hepburn to act in As You Like It, another play she didn't quite like. Cloris did a lot of TV shows and worked hard on her career. Experts praised her role in Robert Aldrich's Kiss Me Deadly. She even filmed a scene while pregnant, running on a dark road in a trench coat. Leachman acted with Paul Newman and Lee Marvin in The Rack, and was in many TV series before her important role in Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show. She played the abandoned wife of a reclusive teacher. That show was an adaptation of a bestseller book by Larry McMurtry. She appeared as Ruth Popper, that had an affair with Timothy Bottom's character. According to reports, the role was meant for Ellen Burstyn, but she chose a different part in the movie. This led director Peter Bogdanovich to choose Cloris instead, and even predicted that this role would earn her an Oscar. Looking at her fantastic performance in the show, one media critic mentioned, "The only real warmth comes from Leachman as Ruth, who seduces Sonny, the boy half her age." For Cloris, playing mother to Sybil Shepherd's deplorable Daisy Miller was remarkable. Most critics ended up loving her, but not the movie she played in. As she puts it, "If Peter wanted to make Sybil Daisy Miller, I think we should take the French attitude. Sybil is an intelligent woman, but I think Daisy Miller might have needed an actress with more levels." Now, most fans will remember Leachman's perfect portrayal of Phyllis Lindstrom on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, a production that also featured her arch rival and friend in showbiz, Betty White. During this period, Leachman played Mary Richards' haughty, self-centred downstairs neighbour for 5 years, earning many praises. How did Leachman manage her friendship with Betty White, who played Sue Ann Nivens? Their working relationship had aspects that made fans wonder if they were genuine friends or rivals. "I hear from people who think we hang out and talk and go places together. I don't know why," Leachman was quoted, talking about White. She hinted at how often they worked together and they would go their separate ways. She'd prefer her leisure time with her family. For those who believe these two talented women are close friends, reality might surprise you. There was a competitive spirit between them, where one's failure seemed to excite the other. During Comedy Central, when White was in the spotlight, Leachman remarked, "We looked at each other and just laughed." Cloris believed they both grasped the difficulties of being women in Hollywood, something they encountered for years, sometimes together. This connection made them close pals. When the two famous women first met on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, while portraying the joyful Sue Ann Nivens, even though she joined the show later in the seasons, Leachman was a lead cast member from the beginning. Leachman was already a main star from the beginning. Those who saw them together on screen at the time thought they'd become friends through the remaining seasons, but Leachman did not think so, and analysts say they appeared to have taken their rival on screen, if what they showcased on the show is anything to go by. First, when White's character, Sue Ann, was introduced in Season 4, she and Leachman's character, Phyllis, was antagonistic. Phyllis's husband, Lars, picks Sue Ann in his car from a party. Phyllis concludes that they were having an affair and soon confronts the star. As she threatened to deal with Sue Ann, Mary, the lead character, was forced to arbitrate between them to bring the situation under control. Years later, they teamed up on screen as rivals in the 2010 comedy You Again, both acting as grandmothers who disliked each other. Analysts say the writers of the movie were inspired by their age-long rivalry to produce the movie. In a recent interview before her demise, Leachman talked about her deep respect for White. Cloris Leachman's acting journey wouldn't be complete without talking about her roles in 3 Mel Brooks films, including the hilarious horror movie Young Frankenstein. Her character, Frau Blucher, even makes horses neigh. The role was so funny that she was described as one who provided fine contrasts and plenty of comedic moments. Mel Brooks, director of the satire, on hearing about her recent demise, credited her talent as one who could make you laugh or cry at the drop of a hat. Leachman's marriage to producer George Englund produced children who have also found their way into show business. There are hints that the Englunds were Bel Air neighbours of Judy Garland and Sid Luft in the early 1960s. Their offspring, who still remember how it was, have talked about Leachman as the kind of mum you only see on TV. At home, Leachman was very kind even to her neighbours' children. She always made sure the kids were well taken care of when needed. I also learned that Leachman's friendship with Mort Sahl and Marlon Brando had been very warm from her days at the Actors Studio. When the news spread about Cloris's passing, her fans reacted. She was described as a funny lady who stole her way into our hearts and always left us smiling. The actress passed away from natural causes. Earlier she had shared her perspective on awards. "I think it should be called Best Leading Actress in a Supporting Role," she noted. She added, "I didn't grow up saying to myself, hey, someday I want to be a supporting actress." But don't just click away, because we have a video where we unravel the secrets and a captivating rivalry between Diana Dors and Marilyn Monroe. Don't miss out. Click now.